Have you ever felt like your mind is a storm-tossed sea, with waves of yesterday's regrets crashing against the shores of tomorrow's anxieties? That is where my story begins, not on a sea, but in the relentless storm within my own head. My name is Leo, and at 24 I felt ancient. My mind was a crowded room, filled with the ghosts of past mistakes and the menacing shadows of future fears. I was never truly present. During dinner with friends, I'd be replaying an awkward conversation from the day before. While walking through a beautiful park, my thoughts would be racing, consumed by a work deadline weeks away. My life was a movie I was watching on fast forward, a blur of moments I never truly lived. This constant mental noise was exhausting, a heavy anchor dragging me down. Desperate for silence, I heard whispers of a man named Elias, a former psychologist who had left the city decades ago to live a simple life in a remote mountain village. They said he didn't offer cures, but clarity. With nothing left to lose, I decided to seek him out. The journey was long and arduous, a physical reflection of my internal struggle. When I finally found Elias, he wasn't a mystical guru, but a kind-eyed old man tending to his vibrant garden. His movements were slow, deliberate, and peaceful. I poured out my story, my voice cracking with the weight of my relentless anxiety. I told him about the storm in my head and begged him for the secret to peace. Elias listened with a profound stillness, his gaze never wavering. When I finished, he didn't offer words of wisdom or a complex philosophy. Instead, he went inside his small cottage and returned with a simple drinking glass, filled to the absolute brim with clear, still water. He handed it to me. "I want you to do something for me," he said gently. "Carry this glass to the ancient oak tree at the far edge of the village, and then walk back here. You must not spill a single drop." I was confused, almost offended. I had traveled all this way for a balancing act, but the desperation in my soul outweighed my skepticism. I took the glass. My world immediately shrank to the shimmering surface of the water. My first step was cautious, my eyes locked on the delicate tension of the water against the rim. The path was uneven. I had to adjust my balance, breathe slowly, and keep my hand perfectly steady. I passed children laughing, their joyous sounds like a distant echo. The scent of fresh bread from the village bakery went completely unnoticed. The rhythmic clang of the blacksmith's hammer was nothing more than a faint, irrelevant vibration. My entire being, every ounce of my concentration, was poured into that one simple task: do not spill the water. The ghosts of my past and the fears for my future had vanished. They couldn't find a foothold in a mind so completely occupied by the present. When I finally returned to Elias's garden, my hands were aching, but my mind was blissfully, astonishingly quiet. I hadn't spilled a single drop. Elias smiled knowingly. "Tell me, Leo," he asked, "did you see the crimson wildflowers growing by the stone wall? Did you notice the intricate pattern carved into the baker's sign?" I blinked, realizing I had seen none of it. I had seen only the water. "Exactly," Elias said, his voice soft as the breeze. "Your mind is like your hand. When it is carrying something precious, the present moment, it has no capacity to hold on to the baggage of the past or the weight of the future. The peace you seek is not in a remote village, or in my words, it was with you on that entire walk. It is the state you enter, when you give your full, undivided attention to the now. The water was just a tool to help you find it." In that moment, the storm inside me broke. The clouds parted, and a profound calm washed over me. The secret wasn't a secret at all. It was a simple, accessible truth. I left that village a different man. The world was still filled with challenges, but I now carried the key to my own tranquility. I learned that whenever the winds of worry and regret began to howl, I just had to find my glass of water. Sometimes it was the feeling of my own breath, sometimes the taste of my morning coffee, sometimes the sound of rain against the window. By focusing completely on that one small present thing, I could always find my way back to the quiet, peaceful center of my own being. The peace was never far away. It was always right here, right now, waiting patiently for my attention.